Hello and welcome to the Aquarius full moon activation. I'm Adrienne Elise. There's so much going on, it's hard to get into all of the details of what the planets and the stars are doing right now, but we can all feel it. And what we're really feeling is Mars and Saturn both direct. Saturn just having turned direct earlier this month. On the 13th. And so Saturn and Mars are both our action planets, but they have very different ways of being in the world. Saturn wants to follow the rules, find solid foundation, do it right. And Mars just wants to go out there and make a battle of it. So Mars and Saturn coming together in a conjunction is a really powerful, normally it can be kind of tumultuous, but in this year of astrology, in this situation, it's actually quite a coming together of the minds. And that's interesting because Mercury is making powerful aspects coming into conjunction with Jupiter. And so Saturn, our rule maker, taskmaster, father time, the way we need to do it right, is in the sign of Sagittarius. And Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius and coming up with Mercury the messenger. So we're really getting informed, especially Jupiter being in Virgo where the North Node has been. We are getting, and Mercury and Jupiter there together. We have a bunch of planets in Virgo right now. So we really are getting this completion of what it's meant for the North Node to be in Virgo. Now the North Node moves backwards like the ages. So the North Node moves into Leo in May of 2017. And so we have this next stretch of time, about 8 months, to assimilate and complete the lessons of this North Node. North Node is future karma. So it's like what needs to happen for us to move forward. And so with these planets all together in Virgo, we've got the sun in Virgo, we've got Jupiter has been in Virgo for this last year or so, almost. We've got Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Virgo, and the sun is moving into Virgo on the 23rd. And so basically, or on the 22nd, excuse me. And so in just a few days, we're going to have all of this energy in Virgo. Now that makes the new moon, the next new moon after this one at the beginning of September, to be very potent and powerful. It's around the 7th of September where we're going to have a new moon in Virgo. And so that's going to be a huge kind of catalyzing synchronicity, things coming together. We're in this huge window for clarity and synchronicity. And it's weird because we're like really being asked to come into the truth of who we really are, but at the same time, not have to break our own rules and to be flexible with our belief systems, but also be strong and resolute in our action. So Mars and Saturn have both been in retrograde for this past most of the year for Saturn, and since May for Mars. They came close almost to a conjunction right before Mars went retrograde. And so now Mars is finally catching up to Saturn, and that's happening right now. They're exact on the 23rd, but we're feeling it for the whole second part of this month. Now, the important thing about these planets coming together in Sagittarius is that they're squaring Neptune in Pisces. So Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and we're looking at the Neptunian Piscean energy here of no boundaries and the collective consciousness, the illusions, the dreams, the visions of our collective consciousness. But then Saturn and Mars are really more towards the personal planets as far as like, what are we doing? How is this action happening here? What do I need to do we're coming up with a square of the past, of the Piscean age, and that collective consciousness where that was used against us and we were controlled and manipulated, and we're coming out of all of this. We're coming out of all these delusions, these belief systems, these stories of our ancestors that we believed in for so long. But guess what? This has been going on for generations. And so this lifetime is really intense because we've chosen to try to heal lifetimes of issues and generations of issues in our bloodlines. And so what's happening is that maybe some things from your childhood and that represent these core issues are coming up right now in a vibrational cellular level. And what this means is that we're experiencing these things in a core way. So it's like you felt it before, but it's more of an intense flare. But at the same time, we have this, since we've gone through so much in the last few years, almost an ability to step back and see that it's not us, but it's really important that we allow these cellular resets to happen. And in order to do that, we have to let go of the old way of believing. And so we're kind of going into these patterns and feeling an expression of them. It's like our life is going to find from this Mars retrograde in Scorpio that we're kind of coming out of now that Mars went direct last month, but it's coming out of his shadow on the 21st. To 8 degrees Sagittarius. So it's back in Sagittarius. So now we're getting the fallout of that Mars retrograde in Scorpio. What does that mean in our life? And so we have been kind of looking at our issues, but there's this other energy of like these stories, these ancestral stories, these belief systems that are so ingrained on a cellular level in our DNA. We have to dive into that shadow, into those secrets of the past, into these patterns, and we have to bring them into the light so that we can change them. And so that's what's happening right now. And it can be really intense but also you can feel the energy of movement and momentum. So as much as things are coming up in a really visceral, cellular, vibrational way in order to start entertaining something new vibrationally, there's also a huge energy for clarity and synchronicity and things coming together. So just pay very close attention for this next 2 weeks as we move towards that new moon in Virgo and we look back to what the North Node in Virgo is really about with all these planets in Virgo. And to me, it's about the Virgin giving birth to humanity and us coming back into innocence. And so part of the Piscean age was using that power of the collective consciousness to manipulate and control humanity through false god religions and programming, lack mentality, and all of that. And so these systems that have been holding this paradigm in place are beginning to fall away. And that's also happening in our personal life. So if you have been in a place where you've been holding on to a structure, a job, or a belief system, or a way of being, like all of us are having this right now, and it's not really working for you anymore, it's not really supporting your truth, it's not really helping you be on your path, then our structures have been falling away. But if you've been holding on for this long, it's at the point where it's threadbare and it's worn at the seams. And so it is time to be remade into something new. So those structures we've been really grasping on, holding on to, and not wanting to let go, the belief systems that bring us faith and confidence in the world, because it's all we've ever known, the way we understood love, the way what we thought we really wanted to do in the world. Structures can come in all these different forms, but with that Pluto-Uranus square that's been going on for the last 3-4 years, it's all about the breakdown. And the breakdown with that Pluto in Capricorn, the breakdown of the structures of our life, of our authoritarian ideas of what we thought to be true. So we're having, and with all this mutable energy, Virgo's a mutable sign as well as Pisces, and these have been forming a square all year. And the mutable signs are really about being willing to adapt and being changeable. So it's like, as much as we're being asked to figure out what's true for us and live from that place and break down the structures that aren't, we're also being asked to be incredibly flexible in our belief system. And so that means that you're willing to see things in a completely different way than you've ever been able to entertain them. And then maybe also that means you're willing to entertain possibilities that are beyond what you can imagine. So there's a lot of magic here right now, but the magic is all in the Virgin Goddess. It's in the purity. It's in the cleaning up. It's in, hey, are we shameful, horrible people? Or is that just what the news is telling us? Because we're seeing all this like violence erupting in the news. But, really, if you look around yourself, if you travel, if you connect with people in this life, people are getting more and more interested in community and connection and what's real, what really matters, love, taking care of each other. That's what's really going on. And so the news feed has to stop. This whole reality since the Piscean age has been like a news feed and a control mechanism. And so this is the way it plays out in our life is this inherited belief systems through generations. And so we're coming to head with these things. And if they're not serving you, they're coming up, and that's a really good thing. But it might feel like PTSD. It might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like vibrationally completely overtaken by this issue. I thought I had dealt with it, but here it is in my face. And am I ever going to get anywhere? And guess what? You're getting somewhere huge. But if you're going to jump out of the plane that's no longer taking you where you want to go, it can feel like there might be nothing to catch you. And the thing is that we've been living in this false paradigm reality that was created by these programs, literally like software programs that we keep creating over and over, of violence and lack and poverty and dissension and evil and aggression and all these things that aren't really the truth of us, humanity, anymore. We are evolving species. And so if we've been playing that out, though, we have to get rid of that pattern before we can have another pattern catch us. But this pattern, this paradigm, we thought that's what was real. We thought that's what was feeding us, you know? So it's like, this is the way the world is, and we work and we pay our bills, and then we, you know, can buy what we need to survive. And so it's hard to adjust to something totally different when we're so used to it. And it feels like if we let go of this paradigm that we know is pretty much bullshit, but if we let go of it, then we'll probably die. You know, how will we survive? Because it's all we know about survival. But outside of this grid that's been built for us as a reality in this holographic reality that we exist in, outside of there is a living grid. And this living grid is there and alive and awakened. And Mother Earth Gaia wants to come more alive. Now is a time where we're awakening this grid. So each of us individually, as we go through these experiences of finding these patterns that aren't working anymore and going up against the man of authority of that message, the software that's come through, that this is the truth of how things are. And we're just like, no, I'm going to entertain something different. You know, that is Virgo. Virgo wants to say, hey, let's get the clarity into the truth. Let's clean up the dirt. Let's understand what's really going on before we can move forward. Let's understand that we are pure consciousness, and so by definition pure. Everything else is an overlay in a story and what we've been playing out. And so it's really important that we find that forgiveness within ourselves for playing out this reality for other people who have played it out for us, and understanding that we're all one. And so the Virgo energy has a lot right now for us to do. It's like, first of all, discriminating, being like, that isn't right. Virgo wants it clean. Virgo wants it neat. Virgo wants it understood, with Mercury as the ruler. And so we have to look at these patterns and face them in order to have that virgin birth, in order to be released into the innocence and the truth of who we are as pure consciousness having a human experience. And so as we work with these patterns, we have to be willing to have that mutable energy and that adjustment energy, to invite in, to dabble, to flirt with a different way of seeing things, a way of seeing things that the universal energy is within us and around us, and we're made of it. So there's no reason why we can't access it within ourselves. And are we our own food, or do we have to go to an outside authority in order to be fed in this world, whether it be food or love or blessings of the universe? So this is a huge paradigm shift. And so when you see it that way, it might help with what's coming up right now, because many people are having huge flare-ups of their issues from the past and patterns of their family life, the early childhood stuff. But at the same time, there's this hope, there's this silver lining that we haven't seen before. Use the most of this next 2 weeks, because on the 31st, Mercury turns retrograde again. What we're feeling right now, which is a little scary, is this forward motion. We've got Saturn and Mars both moving forward right now. Now Mercury is going to go and is getting ready already. We're going to start feeling the shadow, but until Mercury goes retrograde, taking advantage of this forward motion, because it's kind of like, hey, I'm going to hop on this train. I'm going to face and look at this stuff, and I'm going to understand it's a manifestation from patterns that have gone on for eons, and that it might be a little bit glitchy, but that I can entertain and adjust. I can look at this pattern, entertain, and adjust to a different way of being, to let there be some fluidity, to let there be some energy of dynamic change. Because when Mercury goes retrograde again, we're going to kind of be taking a step back. And that might almost feel like a relief to many people, depending on what's going on in your chart right now. It's a good time to take a look at your birth chart, because, you know, we are rebirthing ourselves. And so there's some secrets in there for each people individually, how this astrology is playing out in their birth chart. And so, of course, it makes sense then we're going to our early childhood issues. We're going to our earliest impressions. And so we are separating ourselves out from the lies of our ancestors and choosing to vibrate at a different frequency. But that's, you know, at first when you do that, it feels like you're jumping out of the airplane, feels like you're rocking the boat, and it feels like you most likely will drown or die. But actually the part of yourself that's dying is the part you want to die. The part of you that's the false identity, the part of you that's the ego-based reality based on the materialistic paradigm that's no longer working for us and falling apart at the seams. So it's kind of like you can try to hold together the structure of your life that's no longer working, but it's at this point, since it's so thread worn, it's gonna fall apart, and you might want to just let it fall apart. And then this beautiful Virgo energy with our goddess Venus is in Virgo, and Mercury the messenger in Virgo, and those planets are coming together with Jupiter squaring Neptune. So powerful. We've got the messenger in Earth signs this year, 3 retrogrades in Earth signs here in Virgo. It's going to go back over this territory, and it's retrograde. It's already in the shadow, and so we have the messenger in Virgo in this, like, let's clean it up, let's look at the truth, let's face some shit, let's get to reality. We've got then the Mercury the messenger, the goddess. We're learning about the earth, we're learning about our abundance, we're learning about our receptivity. Can we allow the living grid to feed us? Can we allow the vital force, the consciousness of this world to work, or is it our job to make shit happen? When we try to make shit happen in our life, then that's when the karma, you know, when we're trying to fix what was broken or feeling bad about something that we've done wrong or going out there, what we need to do right now, the living grid, is about allowing the consciousness. The consciousness wants to already fix it in the right way that is kind of like that Virgo energy. Let's do it right. Let's look at it. But consciousness is already on that path. And maybe we just need to get out of the way and understand that we have this higher Buddha self of ours that is trying to incarnate this rebirth of ours, this spiritual rebirth of seeing things on a higher level, and let that connection, let the universe, let the vital force move in the way that it will. And get it out of the way, and more come into alignment with that energy, rather than staying in regret, struggle. I've got to go fix this. I've got to go change this. Got to go heal this. I did something wrong. I need to do it better. So a lot of the Virgo energy is about, right, but with the goddess there, with Venus there in Virgo, there's some compassion to be like, you know, it's kind of hard to wake up after generations and millennia and be like, whoa, we were really doing this wrong. You know, I mean, we know we don't want to do it that way anymore, that we don't want, well, try to use war and aggression to solve our problems. But, you know, it's kind of sobering to have to look at that stuff. And that's the Saturn, the planets together, Saturn and Mars are action planets squaring up against Neptune, those delusions of the past. But then we've got Mercury, the messenger, the goddess, Jupiter, the North Node, and the Sun moving into Virgo. So all that energy in Virgo being like, there is an energy here for a rebirth. What is important? It's important our connection to the earth, connection to Mother Earth Gaia, to trust. We have been kept from this feeling that we're held by this universe and this reality. We've been kept from this. And so it's time now to find that again. That is what allows us to let go of the old paradigm. And so it's about love what's happening rather than hating what's happening in your life right now, because you're seeing the bigger picture. You're seeing the vital force trying to solve the problem, and you want to trust and love the process, and trust and love the people that may be causing you the most pain right now, and trust and love the universe has got your back, because we're going back to source. We may be as far away as we can from it, but all roads point back to the oneness, like osmosis. And so our consciousness is heading that way. Can we allow it to happen? Can we get out of the paradigm that it's up to us to make it or control it or have it be a certain way? Because we know, we've all been shown that when it's not the way, often when it's not the way we want it, it ends up way better than we could imagine. And so a lot of people are having a struggle right now with what's happening, because it's like, why is this happening? Why does this keep coming up? Why do I have to keep going over this again and again? And it's like, because it's what's happening. And so this, for some reason, this energy right now in this portal that we're in, coming out of that Lionsgate portal and moving into this virgin rebirth, it's really about self-forgiveness and compassion. And, you know, like I said, it's sobering and hard to wake up to these old patterns. And it can bring up feelings of remorse and regret, but it's actually our job right now to come into that innocence. We can't clean it up while we're holding on to the past. And so remorse and regret is basically feeding the monster of the false paradigm. We can only move forward. And so we've got to be where we're at and love what's happening rather than hate what's happening. And that's that kind of the key right now in being able to step outside of this paradigm and entertain something new and different. So like I said, Mars has come out of the shadow of its retrograde. Mars and Saturn right there, squaring up with Neptune, the delusions of the past, reality, what's real, what's not real. And then Saturn being direct, and these planets finally coming together. It's like, it's time to take action in a new way. Saturn is in Sagittarius, the seeker. So our work, our duty, the limitations, the energy of the boundaries, the structures that we want to have in our life, we're actually pushing the boundaries and looking outside of the structure, the seeker, to be able to create new structures. And that means, of course, letting go of the past. Now, the powerful energy here comes in why these early childhood and these woundedness and these deep places of deep patterns of her ancestral trauma are coming up right now, is because all these planets coming together with Jupiter. So Mercury's coming together with Jupiter, and then later in the month, Venus and Mercury come together. And all of that is happening directly across from Chiron in Pisces. And so Chiron is the wounded healer. It's definitely in Pisces, pointing to the past age. It's pointing to the wounds of the collective that we all feel as they've been played out in these stories over and over again. And so with that rebirth trying to happen, it's definitely being reflected. And in order for this North Node in Virgo, this cleaning up, this facing reality, that's doing it the right way, we can't get anywhere near that until we let go of these traumas and these stories. And, you know, it is trauma that keeps patterns in place. And that's found on a cellular level. It's found on an energetic level. It's found on a deeply esoteric level. And so the trauma button continues to get pushed in our life, and we're in this hugely activated place of this trauma button getting pushed. And what happens then is that this old trauma is being expressed, but then it's also acting as an attractor, attracting more trauma into our life. So it's like we're just having this big bloom of the stories that are not our stories anymore. And we can choose to entertain a different story. And so that opposition with Chiron and Pisces, with all these planets in Virgo, is saying that the virgin rebirth into the new age of Aquarius, into innocence of our soul, means that we have to completely rewrite our history and find all the places within ourselves that vibrationally and cellularly still resonate at that frequency, because we're moving in fourth dimensional energies, which are about like what you think and what you experience in your reality starts to manifest immediately. So we've got to find all these places where we hold that cellular memory and those belief systems. Even though we thought we worked it through, you know, deeply suppressed in our being, there's part of maybe that little girl or that little boy that experienced that certain thing, that triggered past life trauma, and that has never allowed you to really feel safe on the planet, to feel like you belong here, to feel like you're safe here, and to feel like you deserve to be who you really are. So these trauma feelings have to come up right now. And the place where Chiron is in our chart, also not just only our deepest wounds, but our greatest gifts lie under those wounds. And so with this Virgin rebirth is a great unveiling of what it is you really want to be doing in your life, what's going to give you the best, most satisfaction. A lot of us have been like going through so much change that we don't know really what is right for us. There's all these options, or maybe there's no options, or nothing feels quite right, or what you thought you wanted to do isn't what you wanted to do, and being utterly and totally confused about what in the heck you want to be doing with your life and what really matters as we get to the core essence of, you know, as we drop the old paradigm and build something new. We want to do it in a real way that's true to us as humanity. And so that's what the Virgin is really helping us to find. And in order to do that, we have to let go of those stories of the past, of the woundedness. And so this year, the astrology of this year and last year, Chiron's really, Chiron and Pisces has really been, is really about rewriting the stories of our past. And in that, Chiron gets a new identity too. So Chiron is the healed healer. Chiron is the healer that's empowered by those stories of the past, because they've come to the place to know that they have actually no power, that they're just that, a story. The true story is that we are that consciousness. We are a beautiful individual expression of the oneness consciousness. And that means living in that paradigm is that every day is a great adventure. And what does your life look like in that great adventure? And so that's going to be a lot about the activation today, using this Aquarius full moon to tap in with Uranus there in Aquarius. The revolution of this time, of the breakdown of our structures, has everything to do with our new identity in the Aquarian age. So this full moon in Aquarius is a really great time to kind of take the lens and look into the future and see how your future right now, the work you're doing, is aligning with that most optimal future. Get a glimpse of that, get some information, get some clarity on what it means to be a true citizen of the Aquarian age. And living from that truth that we are a part of a whole, a greater whole, and that whole is also within us. And that's very Aquarian energies in the whole societal structure, energetic structure of this reality. So let's go ahead and use this full moon energy that that is happening tomorrow morning at 3 in the morning. So we're just about 8 hours away from this full moon. And so we're going to go ahead and encode this activation, this energy of this Aquarius full moon, that leap into the future that makes it all make sense. You know, when you get to that point, you know, we've all gone through that, where we hate what's happening, and then later in life, it could be weeks, months, years, lifetimes, but you're like, wow, that was actually got me here to this point, and now I can have immense gratitude. Can we have that gratitude while it's happening? It's not that easy, but life completely changes if you can begin to entertain that paradigm, and sooner rather than later see the gift of what's playing out for you, and how perfect it is in bringing you exactly what you need for your next step forward into that next level of consciousness, into that life of satisfaction, into the life of the Aquarian age, where it is an exciting revelation, an adventure to be alive in this time on planet Earth. And what is your individual beautiful expression of that energy of the universe? How does it want to work through you? So great opportunity here today, and also to just receive an energetic reset and reprogramming for these family inherited and past life belief systems that have been like a vibrational resonance. It's like, well, I'm used to that. It's all I know. My cells are used to that anxiety, that trauma, that grief that keeps coming up again and again. The button keeps getting pushed. It keeps replaying these old patterns and attracting more of that to me. And now I want to let my cellular energy, give it a chance to kind of reach out for something different. And often we can't reach out for something different until we're seeing the old so big and so strong. You know, so we're seeing the old so big and so strong. Oh, wow, I'm going into that pattern and be like, wait a minute. Oh, that's such a big pattern from my past. I can see it's not really my present anymore. And I don't want it to be my future. But it's a little unsettling to let go of it because it's been my structure all along. But I think I will go ahead and entertain the possibility of moving into new potential. So let's go ahead and take advantage of this powerful energy of rebirth and into each of us individually as members of the Aquarian age, of the golden age of this planet, of living in harmony with our living grid and evolving consciously in the way that humanity would like to, most efficiently and most beautifully, back to source. So let's go ahead and arrive here in this moment and just take a few deep breaths and feel yourself here right now. It's not a slave of the past, of the regrets. You know, we've been kind of working through energy of regret of many lifetimes and many ancestors. And then go ahead and relieve yourself of the future concerns, because that's up to the universe and your highest self, your Buddha self. So go ahead and invite in your Buddha self and just see it like a light above you, a little part of you that is existing in the 7th dimension, directly connected to central source, central sun, directly in alignment with this vital force of the universe, and can see way, way, way far down the road in your evolution. And go ahead and invite in that energy to be with us here today, shining the light, allowing your future to come into alignment with your highest evolution, your most harmonious growth, and your most exciting life. And just feel yourself arrive deep in this present moment, sending out roots from the base of your spine deep into the earth, inviting Mother Earth Gaia to receive you back into the womb of oneness, a feeling of being held at one with nature, the living grid of harmony and balance. And just breathe into that. Just imagine that you can breathe in to this living grid of Mother Earth Gaia, which includes all living things. And breathe that also into your grid, into your energy field, into your vital force, and find yourself coming into communion, resonance with Mother Earth frequency. You're on this ride together with her. And often we spend our time up in our mind in the past and in the future and in worry and in stress and anxiety, when Mother Earth just wants us to arrive here, home with her, and go on the journey together. And so just feel a huge deep release in the base of your spine, like water, the waters of your body communicating with the waters of Mother Earth, the deepest waters, the deepest hidden waters that are still have the original living grid codes, the original Gaia codes. Just go ahead and connect the waters of your body with the waters of the earth, the pristine, the virginal waters, as we tap into this Virgo goddess energy, rebirthing humanity, rebirthing each of us into a new paradigm. Feel that Mother Earth is on track with this new paradigm. Mother Earth Gaia wants to hold you and love you as you feel yourself coming into magnetic and energetic communication. Your electromagnetic field and Earth's electromagnetic field joining together, and just breathe air, light, and prana into that grid, into the Gaia grid, into the Christ consciousness grid, into your energy field grid, your Merkaba or light body. Breathing in the energy of the universe. This is a powerful day, this full moon in Aquarius, where we're looking forward into the Aquarian age, into a completely different way of working in concert with the universal energies and the living grid, rather than against a false mechanical paradigm. And just feel yourself being held in this reality. It's taking a few deep breaths, feeling yourself arrive. Go ahead and receive an energetic reset for an energetic wave for a cellular vibrational reset to release any stories of your ancestors you're no longer willing to carry as a burden in this life. Releasing the stories of all your past lives, of all your trauma, a virgin birth into innocence, purity, and peace. Feel yourself relax and release deeper than you ever have before into this moment, into a feeling that the universe, Mother Earth, has got your back. Everything that's happening is your most beautiful, highest expression to more quickly and efficiently and harmoniously get you to that life you really want to live. Go ahead and allow yourself to drop those stories of the past, vibrational reset, and at the same time pick up the vibration of that most optimal future as a resident of the Aquarian age. Just we're replacing one grid, one software program with another. We're going to just uninstall. Go ahead and receive an energy wave, accepting in your highest guidance, your healing energy, psychic surgery to remove implants, whatever needs to happen. We're going to go ahead and go in and just take out the mechanical grid, the belief systems, the software, the implanted programs that are no longer serving you and are no longer serving your optimal life in the Aquarian age of satisfaction, deep appreciation of life. So go ahead and just see this almost like little bluebirds, your angels, your guidance, your healing, calm, and just lift off this Iron Man suit you've been wearing, this prison of this paradigm. And go ahead and see that some other little birds want to bring in your new light body. So there's a replacement. You don't have to feel lost and alone without that skyscraper world. There's another world underneath the concrete that's been hidden and kept from us. And all we have to do is open up and realize and recognize and allow that energy to be in our life. So go ahead and receive that light body and breathe into it like you are breathing into Mother Earth's energetic field as well. Your light body, Mother Earth's light body, activating together. And any other souls in this activation process out there that would like to have community support, receiving a new way of being in the world rather than the old stories, paradigms. We are not our physical body. Our physical body is just a vehicle, an expression, physical manifestation in this world. But it would be more true to say that we are our light body, the part of us that travels on after we don't have this body anymore. So go ahead and just pay attention, bring your attention to your light body and breathing in air, light, and prana, just seeing this golden orb of light around you. It's there in potential form, and you're continually moving forward in your activation of this field as you move forward in your consciousness through everything that's happening in your life, your learning, growth experiences, your deeds, your love, your compassion, your desire for the truth. Let all of this feed your light body as you breathe into it. seeing the shackles of the old paradigm, the belief systems that have been holding you in place, holding you small, holding you disempowered, holding you in poverty, just see those break and fall away. And often when we do this, we have a fear that we're going to be leaving people behind or hurting people or hurting our family. And that's just a lie that comes up as this monster is learning to dissolve. And then go ahead and feel again the light body energy there to catch you. There's a live field ready to catch you, and go ahead. You can help build this live field by becoming that chakra on the earth. So feel yourself not just communicating deep into Mother Earth and communicating with her electromagnetic field, but also receiving the cosmic energy from above. And then like a pillar of light, your light body is communicating between the cosmic light, the universe, Father, Son, and Mother Earth. Yin and yang. Breathe those energies into your heart. Feeling yourself come into harmony. Coming into this present moment. This is the unity breath. Imagine a tube that goes through your toroidal field. And from above and below, you can bring energy in and swirl it in the center. And there is a vortex there. At the center of you, the same as the center of the earth, the universe, the galaxy, the center of every molecule, of every manifested thing. Just go ahead and go to that center. We're going to move into this portal of the heart. This is also known as still point, the place outside of polarity, and just feel yourself in your consciousness arriving to that area behind your physical heart and feel yourself pulled into that vortex. It's like you're jumping onto one of the energy grid lines on toroidal field, and you're going to allow yourself to just be pulled into the wormhole, into the center. Taking a few deep breaths, breathing air, light, and prana from above and below into your being, breathing that light, your light body into Mother Earth's light body, and Mother Earth's light body into your light body. We're in this together. We're supported and whole through whatever experiences come our way. Moving deeper and deeper into still point, find yourself in the center of you. Deeper and deeper. If you follow this grid, this portal, this wormhole that is the vortex of the heart, you'll eventually find yourself in everything, out in space, floating along, just like a planet or a star. And if you keep going through this portal, you will eventually find yourself back in the center of your head. So just go ahead and connect those dots between your heart, the cosmos, and your third eye. And go ahead and allow your consciousness to see out your third eye through your forehead as if you could see with your eyes closed. And go ahead and connect with that higher Buddha self of yours that can see way into the future. Go ahead and see if there's anything that you could receive right now. Any gifts or images, pictures, colors, shapes, information, words. What does your Buddha self have for you as information, clarity, pictures, when they look deep into your future? Go ahead and receive those images or information or messages or gifts. Go ahead and feel, see, and know your existence showered in golden light in the future as your light body activates more and more. What does your life look like coming from that place of oneness, consciousness, of activation, and alignment with your highest purpose and path. Just receive. It's breathing into your heart and into your belly. Feeling your right of an umbilical cord to the center of the universe. You are a part of a greater organism. It's working on a path of consciousness, and you are moving along with that. You're not alone, isolated. That's another story and another lie. Just feel all the support of all the souls on this similar journey. Go ahead and receive an energetic wave to reset your whole vibrational field, cellular energetic field, cell by cell, deep into your being, to that golden future. This is beginning to entertain new patterns in your physical body, in your world, in your life. Releasing the stories of the past and allowing the living grid of universal consciousness hold you through this experience. Profound and dramatic change is what's happening within us right now. We have not yet seen what that looks like on the outside, but to feel held through the process makes it a very different thing than feeling like you're just thrown into the mixer of life. Just feel Mother Earth, Father, Son, consciousness, oneness, holding you in this still point. Just feel yourself completely relax and release into the support available to you by consciousness. Feeling a deep peace that you may not have felt yet in this body on this planet. This is your birthright. This is the most important, the most valuable thing in this day and time. Go ahead and stack up the money and stack up the degrees and stack up the material items. But the commodity of the future is inner peace. Go ahead and just enjoy that for yourself for a few moments before we complete the activation. And just receiving an energy wave to harmonize this activation and this in your assimilation, releasing the old and bringing in the new. Just seeing a golden light of the sun just wash over you like a waterfall through your whole field and deep into Mother Earth as a gift. Again, breathing into her energetic field, breathing into your energetic field. Air, light, and prana. Feel the energy of the goddess, that earth magnetic field holding you. It's so powerful. That is regenerative, magical, healing energy that only needs to be cultivated, be brought into our awareness, and to have our attention in order to grow in our life. So go ahead and welcome Mother Earth Gaia, the living grid, to live in your field inviting that oneness consciousness, that connection, that ability to love what's happening. And trusting in the bigger Buddha self and in the bigger picture as you move down your road of growing awareness, recalibration, rebirth. Welcome home to a new earth. We're going through the birth canal. Just go ahead and take a few deep breaths as you allow yourself to begin coming back into your body, into the room, into your regular everyday awareness. Just taking your time, coming back into your body, becoming aware of your physical body, bringing with you this peace, this heart-centered consciousness, this trust, this vibrational communication, resonance with Mother Earth frequency, the living grid, the real grid that holds us, not the oil companies and power companies. They don't actually do anything for us at all. Just feel yourself deeply grounding this light into Mother Earth through your root chakra, feeling yourself completely safe, held with Mother Earth as you develop your light body and she develops her light body, and you learn from each other and support each other in this beautiful adventure on Mother Earth ship. Just go ahead and arrive back into present time, into your room, into your awareness, into your body. When you're ready, go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes, open your eyes, and come out of meditation. Well, thank you so much for joining me. What a powerful activation. I really appreciate you bringing your energy to this glimpse of the future of claiming and allowing ourselves to own the truth of who we really are, instead of the reality that has been fed to us for so long. So keep up the great work of living true to yourself. And I hope that I'll see you on that powerful new moon activation in Virgo in a couple weeks. And hey, check out, I've got a free class tomorrow at noon MST, Mountain Standard Time. That's Thursday, the 18th of August. If you want to check out the intuitive training, and you can also find out more about that at adrianelise.com/intuitive-training. So thanks so much again for joining me, and I look forward to next time. Namaste.